This is Roadshow, Destinations in Business Innovation. I'm Tom Alexander. In this installment of Roadshow, the destination is Pole City, Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York, the home of the historic Brooklyn Navy Yard, and New Lab, a business incubator that brings together entrepreneurs and engineers with industry and government to apply innovation to pressing challenges in energy, mobility, and materials. Today, we're visiting with Paul Johnson, CEO and founder of Pole City. Pole City is a hub that allows business communities to build powerful local supply chains, supported by advances in automation and machine learning. Well, Paul, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it. We're happy to spend some time, even if it's just virtually. Now, I want to get right into it. On your website, you state that Pole City isn't just a platform, it's part of a revolutionary transformation. If you can, what do you mean by this?
Well, there's been a lot of changes in manufacturing and supply post-COVID, and I think a lot of people experience supply chain disruptions and et cetera in their lives. And what's happening now is a lot of businesses that previously used to outsource materials or supplies have found alternatives to working locally. And part of this is technologically driven. And part of it is just that these companies want to diversify their business models. And I think another component is new requirements regarding things like sustainability. So if you're sourcing things locally, if you're manufacturing things locally, that's an intrinsically more sustainable model because of the shorter supply chains. So I would say that those are three factors that are causing a really remarkable shift towards regionalization.
Paul Johnson is an experienced software engineer and entrepreneur who has designed, developed, and deployed multiple SaaS platforms for Fortune 500 companies and startups alike. He was involved in the development of an event management platform used for Walmart, Google, and Monster, and was a pioneer in ad tech. And what would you say was the catalyst for starting Pole City, and did your background inform this a bit?
Well, yeah, at the time we came up with the idea of Pole City, I was actually involved in migrating an enterprise procurement platform that connected several of manufacturers in the Midwest and managed several hundred millions of dollars of orders annually. And while I was working on this, the pandemic hit, and we're based in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And a lot of businesses within the Navy Yard organically just pivoted what they normally did and started manufacturing PPE. This was very interesting because the project that I was working with at the time was a cohort of manufacturers in the Midwest that have managed to survive through offshoring. And they did this by pulling together, by working together, by providing like a procurement catalog, which they could then source to local manufacturers. And this was happening organically in the Brooklyn Navy Yard all by itself. And it happened in response to, an externality like COVID. But you saw how if the conditions were to change, not only would there be a capacity to do this in a normal way, but there'd be all sorts of benefits associated with it. So